Welcome back to more Guild Wars 2. We're starting back out near the lumber mill this time, where we are going to be heading more slightly south than east. Although we will be heading east as well. Just south of, actually it's east of the lumber mill, southeast, is this little pen here, which the Asura created. Pretty smart man. He thinks he can keep his little moas safe. Good on him. I think it'll work. And down here we have an interesting locale.
Can't wait to see it all.
This locale is a little monastery, very much in the vein of medieval monasteries, which, yes, means brewing. Centaurs love attacking it, and there's a lot of Centaur camps around the southeast. I'm serious, from here on out, we're going to see a ton of Centaur camps. But what we can do to help out these poor souls is there's shifty people like him. He's going to try and steal. We have to stop him. Now, the unfortunate thing is the guy just doesn't take notice of the two people in heavy armor, one person in medium armor, that are following him. In fact, we're obviously keeping an eye on him. But he doesn't notice. And this is going to cost him so dearly. 3, 2, 1. See, he didn't even make it out of the room. And you can do that.
Hi, my friend.
You can also get drunk to help with the quest. Now, you can only get 1 drink per minute because the game considers you drunk after 1 drink, which I'm fine with that. Now, there's also grubs that you can pull out of the ground and smash. And that's really all there is. It's actually one of the longer quests because you can really be reliant on those grubs. Like no one's business. But there's a scout we need to look at, well, talk to, right up here.
The citizens of Beetleton are harried by the constant threat of Centaur attacks. Many have moved to the city to avoid being captured by Centaurs, who take their captives to a prison camp in the eastern hills. Tunwatch does what it can, but even the Seraph can be defeated.
Yep, that's the next set of quests. But while I was waiting to try and get this quest done, I thought I'd pop down here to the south a little bit and get a little more map revealed. God-lost swamp. We'll get there eventually, folks. We'll get there eventually. After a long, arduous tasks, we're done with that. Finally moving on to help out the rest of Beetleton after a minor crash. And some inventory management and, well, that was actually tab management more than anything else. Chat tab management. If you kept a close eye, you might see. But let's head towards Beetleton. Let's help out the poor people in the surrounding areas. The farmers and things like that. We'll get to the town, don't worry. That town has its own set of towny problems. We get astounded by another dynamic event. This one is interesting. You're supposed to collect ruined bunches of grapes. This poor vineyard She wants to rebuild, but she's not being authorized to, so she wants to make some bad wine. Now, these don't stack, but you can use them to smack enemies with. So you have to grab each individual one, bring it to her, or smack an enemy with it. I had fun smacking centaurs. Oh, it was very fun. That got me most of the way done with that quest.
I'll pass this along to the pale tree.
Now, that Seraph outpost is quite interesting and small, and we'll be visiting there a couple of times. It gets commonly run over by the Centaurs. But there's this little Centaur camp right over here, which we want to help the Seraph take over. We do this by killing Centaurs and destroying their racks of weapons. Fortunately, both of these count towards helping the people of Beetleton. And it's not like the Centaurs actually hurt us. And that's Beetleton saved. Well, maybe not entirely saved, quote-unquote, but they've been helped. Now I'm going to be getting a little bit of gathering, a lot of it actually, because I'm very close to getting today's dailies done. So you'll be seeing me starting in random locations or cutting to places like that. That means I was busy doing that, and I really wanted it to count. But there's a point of interest over here by the waterworks. I'm willing to bet this is a part of another water's works.
So close.
Again, humanity is the only ones that build these kind of waterworks.
Building adrenaline.
Not even the people who would realistically rely on water to live like no one else. You know, the Sylvari build waterworks like this. So it's a bit confusing. And here we are in the town of Beetleton. And here we can see the more mundane tasks. Squashing wasps' nests, cleaning up graffiti, and helping out with the carnival. You've just seen me do both of those. But let's go talk to the carnival people. There's actually one interesting activity that goes on there. And sadly, it is the only one. You can also kill vermin like rats to help with this quest, but it's entirely unnecessary.
Come one, come all, and try your hand at the greatest puzzle in all the land. Who is the Moa, and who is the man? Tell me, if you can.
Am I right?
Charisse, you made it! And supplies intact, too.
We are unstoppable.
If you don't count the fortune...
No, I was completely wrong.
Thank you for escorting all our materials here.
Just doing my job, sir.
And with that, the game is done. Please come again, and be sure to tell all your friends.
Now, I'm pretty sure you could repeat that, but I just went around whitewashing walls and stomping wasp nests for, about a week. Okay, I'm completely lying. It actually took me about 5 minutes. But we're heading back to the garrison, I believe. Yes. Back to the garrison to continue trying to fill out the western side of the map. Which means we're going to have to go through another Seraph outpost. Again, there's Seraph outposts in between Centaur camps, so I don't know why they can't just squash them in the middle. But this is another cleanup quest, pretty much. You get to put the documents away, you get to crush some rats, and then you get to come outside and help because there's not enough stuff inside to do to keep you occupied. Spike traps as usual, centaurs, and wolves apparently. Both of which die so fast, it's ridiculous. And there's also, I think, totems. Yes, you can see it lying there in the middle of the road. You could do to help alleviate the problem. Set it on fire. One more spike trap will do it. Now let's go talk to the scout.
The city of Claypool is burdened with many of the same problems you see here at the trading post. Centaurs are near neighbors, and it's difficult for Claypool to maintain a standing militia, being so far from Divinity's reach.
Yeah, Claypool is actually the location where, as you can see, the crafting in the area can occur. But first, we have to get this waypoint, which is unfortunately guarded by a couple of Centaurs. They've apparently taken this camp, but the Seraph can take it back. How the Centaurs didn't notice me until I smacked them, I will never know. Let's go heading towards Claypool. Obviously, we're going to be taking the bridge, although we could take the long about way, but we need to fill in as much of the map as we can, so we're taking this lovely little bridge here, which is apparently important enough to get its own point of interest. Now we're going to be heading into the woods. And here is one of the more interesting set pieces of this area. It's a corrupted tree. Now, it has been said in the lore that there is another tree similar to the Pale Tree outside the grove. I don't think this is it, but it is a very nice corrupted tree, and would be a very nice set piece, and sadly there's not a vista for it. And this event pops up from time to time. A champion got corrupted. It's time for her to go down. But, moving on from that minorly depressing point, we have some more quests down here. We have to push the Centaurs back. We could probably invade their camp and have it count. I mean, that's one way to try and do it, just slash and burn everything. But what else you can do is there are these camps set up. As we can see off to right in front of us, these are interesting. They're occupied by Centaurs, and Centaurs will come back to try and take them if you kill the Centaurs, but you can kill all the Centaurs. There's normally a veteran lying around, and 2 regulars. You kill them, smash the 3 supply things. Well, I was talking about that a bit early, because they're right over here. And then Seraph come in and take it over. And Centaurs will try and take it back. This is a part of the continual struggle back and forth between the 2 people. And I'm not sure why humanity has not figured out any way to kill the Centaurs. I mean, they've been a huge problem, a huge thorn in their side, but apparently humanity has not figured out how. It's kind of sad, really, when you think about it. Now, you can see the flag, it's still within shot. It's still in the Centaur flag. Partly because there was still a Centaur around, and partly because they still had supplies. Now, when you kill everything and look at the flag, apparently you set the place on fire. You do that for all the other places, kill their Centaur reinforcements coming in to take it back, and voila! You've helped kill a whole bunch of Centaurs. Now, this particular Centaur camp, which I walked by earlier, is very interesting and unusual in that it has a waypoint contained within it. I'm assuming the Seraph will occasionally come in and take this over and you can warp to it, but I've never actually seen it happen myself. Every time I've come here, it's been occupied by Centaurs, and you can't warp to a point like that, because it's technically contested. But let's head towards God-Lost Swamp. There's a waypoint we want to get. It'll save us having to try and get out of the swamp later. Assuming these mosquitoes, I think they are, aren't going to successfully murder us. Also gives us a very close look at the swamp, which would be the way you would be looking at the place if you had just come in and not noticed the surrogates over at Lion's Arch. But now, let's head towards Claypool again. Maybe we'll be successful this time. So back across that wonderful bridge of awesomeness. Stick to the road. You'll get to Claypool with only a few distractions. Now, helping Claypool is going to involve... I'm thinking technically you would call it training their militia, but you're actually more taking on the role of a volunteer.
Oh, yes. I think so too.
It's weird. You'll have to see it.
Pick up a training sword if you want to train. Wouldn't want anyone
Pick up a sword, and they give you the basics of blocking and avoiding blocks.
Let's keep at it. Pick up a rifle and get in formation.
And this in particular, I have no idea what this is about.
Until the order is given.
You're supposed to hold the button.
You must learn to hold until commanded.
There's no skill in the game that I know of that you can do that with, so I'm not sure why it's here. Other than to show that, hey, you're helping the militia out. Now, this is actually an interesting one, because this shows you the basics of blocking, which is very important if you're going to use a shield. But other than that, is all we're gonna cover here in Queensdale. This is Stomping Llama, and I will see you guys next time. Signing out.
Queen Jenna won't let that happen. She has a plan, I'm sure.